Let's have an example on revaluation. The question says, Alice and Betty have been in a partnership for several years, sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2 respectively. The following balance sheet is as at 31st December 2022. So we have the non-current assets, those ones, current assets, those ones. Then we have equity and liability for Alice, Betty. We have the capital account and then the current account. Yeah, so that is the balance sheet extract. Then on 1st Jan 2023, they decided to admit Connie as a new partner on the condition that she contributes 2M as capital, and the profit and loss sharing ratio would be revised to 3:2 for Alice, Betty and Connie respectively. So they also agreed on the following revaluations. So land was revalued to 5M, plant and machinery was revalued to 1.5, motor vehicle was revalued to 3M, office fittings was valued to 2M, inventory was revalued to 1.8, receivables was revalued to 1.9. So they want us to prepare the revaluation account. So what you should know, when we are preparing the revaluation account, we only consider the revaluations that they have told us. So this is the information that is important to us. You ignore all the rest. We only consider the revaluations that they have given us. Those are the only things that we consider when preparing the revaluation account. So revaluation account. We debit and then credit. So the first one we have is land. Land is an asset. And here in our accounting entries, we said in case there is an increase in the asset value, we debit the asset account, credit the revaluation account. So land is an asset. And according to the balance sheet, land had a value of 1.8. Then it was revalued to 5M, meaning it increased from 1.8 to 5M. So we are going to prepare the land account. So land account. We debit and then we credit. So we shall have the balance brought down of 1.8, this one. So 1.8. Then there was a revaluation, there was an increase from 1.8 to 5M. So assets increased by debiting. So we rate revaluation. So the difference between 5M and 1.8 becomes the revaluation value. So 5M minus 1.8, 5 zeros, it is 3.2. So 3.2 is the revaluation value, like that. So this plus this, what you get is 5M. You get, yeah, so you put the same figure here, 5M. Then the balance carried down will be 5M. So since in the land account you put the revaluation on the debit, in the revaluation account you put it on the credit. So you come in the revaluation account and rate land. And rate land, it is 3.2. Like that. Then they've told us plant and machinery was revalued to 1.5. So plant and machinery, what was its figure? It was 2M. Then it was revalued from 2M to 1.5, meaning there is a decrease in the value. So we prepare the plant and machinery account. Plant and machinery account, debit, and then credit. So the figure in the balance sheet, the 2M becomes the balance brought down. So balance brought down, which is 2M. Then plant and machinery is an asset. Assets decrease by crediting. There was a decrease in the value from 2M to 1.5. So revaluation. The difference between 2M and 1.5, which is 500, becomes the revaluation. You get, yes, so this side is greater than this side, which is 2M, then 2M. Then this minus this, it becomes 1.5. So balance carried down is 1.5. So since we said we put the revaluation on the credit side, in the revaluation account we shall put it on the debit. So plant and machinery it is 500,000, like that. Then they've told us motor vehicle was revalued to 3M. So here in the balance sheet, motor vehicle had a value of 3.55. Then it was revalued to 3M. There was still a decrease in the value. So we prepare the motor vehicle account. You debit and then you credit. So the figure in the balance sheet will become the balance brought down. So balance brought down, it is 3550, like that. So it changed from this to 3M. So there was a decrease in the value, and assets decreased by crediting. So we write revaluation of the difference, which is 550. This minus the 3M, this 3M. So we get that this side is greater than this side. So 3550, 3550, like that. This minus that. What we get becomes the balance carried down, which is 3M. So since the revaluation is on the credit side, in the revaluation account, we shall put it on the debit side by writing motor vehicle, motor vehicle 550,000, like that. And they've told us office and fittings was revalued to 2M. Office and fittings had a value of 1.8. It was revalued to 2M. There was an increase in the value. So we prepare the office and fittings account. Office and fittings account, debit, and then credit. It is an asset. It has a normal debit balance. So balance brought down, it is 1.8. Then it was revalued to 2M, meaning there was an increase, and assets increased by debiting. So the difference between 2M and 1.8 becomes the revaluation of 200,000. So when you add this plus this, you get 2M. 2M. Balance carried down becomes 2M, like that. So since the revaluation is on the debit side, in the revaluation account we shall put it on the credit side. We rate office and fittings, which is 200,000, like that. Then they have told us inventory was revalued to 1.8. So we prepare the inventory account. Inventory account, debit, and then credit. So according to this, inventory was 1.960, then it was revalued to 1.8. There was a decrease in the value of inventory. So balance brought down will be this. Then inventory is an asset. Assets decreased by crediting. So the revaluation will be this side. The difference between 1.960 and 1.8 will be the revaluation, which is 160. Like that. 160,000. So this side is greater. 1960. 1960. Minus this, what you get is balance carried down, which is 1.8. So since the revaluation is on the credit, in the revaluation account, it will be on the debit. So you write inventory, you write 160,000. Like that. Then the last one we have is receivables. It was revalued to 1.9. Here it was to 130. So it has decreased from 130 to 1.9. So that there is a decrease. So we prepare the receivables account. Receivables account, debit, credit. So balance brought down, it is to 130. Then there was a decrease, so we credit it. Revaluation to 1.9. So this minus 1.9, what you get is 230. So this side is greater to 130. To 130. Minus that, what you get is the balance carried down, which is 1.9. Like that. Since the revaluation is on the credit, in the revaluation account, we put it on the debit. We write receivables, which is 230. Yeah, so the revaluations are done. In the revaluation account, we only consider the things that were said that they were revalued. What was not said, you ignore it. So these are done. And you prepare an account for anything that was revalued. That's why we've prepared an account for land, plant and machinery, motor vehicle, office fittings, inventory, and then receivables. You prepare an account for everything that was revalued. These accounts, they are important. Yeah, so we are done, and this is our evaluation account. So what is next is to balance the debit side and the credit side. If the credit is greater, it is a profit. If the debit is greater, it is a loss. So this plus this, it is 3.4. So let's add this side. We see, so 500,000 E5 plus 550 E, this E, then 4 zeros, like that, then plus 160, 16 E, then how many zeros? There are 4 zeros, like that, then plus 230 E, 4 zeros, 144, and this is 3.4. So this side is greater, so meaning it is a profit. So 3.4 and 3.4, like that. 3.1, then 3.4. So the profit is going to be this minus the whole of this. So 3.4 minus the answer. So the profit is 190. 1960, like that. But this profit has to be shared by the old partners only. Profit share by the old partners only. We ignore the new partner, so it is only shared by the old partners, which is Alice and Betty. So we ignore this Connie that was admitted later. So it's going to be shared by the old partners using the old sharing ratios, 3:2. So it's going to be Alice and then Betty. So 3:2, it's going to be 3 out of 5 times the profit, which is 100. Sorry, 1M, 960. 960, 4 zeros. So it's 1176, like that. Then for Betty, it's going to be 2 out of 5 times 708, like that. And those are the profits shared. When you add this plus this, you get that. So that is the revaluation account. Yeah, in case you have any questions, you can ask. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. Let's catch up in my next video.